Hey, this is an important video, and you're messing it up right now. Would you please go somewhere else? Yeah, that's not going to happen. It is what it is, guys. I'm sorry. Today, something I am extremely excited about. And I wish like crazy existed when I was a little kid. One of my favorite locomotives, I think, favorite locomotive of a lot of people is Southern Pacific 4449. It's a Southern Pacific Daylight. And I imagine if you're watching this, you've probably seen it. If you're new to trains, maybe you're not familiar with 4449 per se, but it's the big, pretty red and orange train, the old steam engine. So I'll put a picture of the real thing up on the screen right now. There it is. It's been featured in a couple of movies. There was something back in, I don't know, 90s, 2000. I think Dennis Quaid was in it. I'm sorry, the name escapes me, but it was a period piece, World War II, dealt with Japanese internment camps and stuff like that. It's kind of a serious flick. A much more fun flick featuring Locomotive, though, is Tough Guys from 1986 with Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster. One of my favorite old actors, Eli Wallach. Dana Carvey's in it. And it's a funny premise for a movie. These guys try to rob a train in the 1950s when they're still relatively young men. They fail. They go to prison for 30 plus years. Fast forward to the present day, which when the movie was made was like 1986, I think, 85 or 86. And they are now like retirement age old men and trying to fit into modern 1980s world. And it's a fun movie. And they decide they're not fitting in, and they decide to try to rob the train. Again, the same train they went to prison for, because the train's getting retired and they just want to prove they can do it. It's a very funny movie. I feel like you don't hear a lot about it, but sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but 4449 is featured in it prominently. So here is a wooden railway version of 4449. I wish something like this was around when I was a little guy, because I would have loved to have it. This is not made by like Brio. You might remember most of my wooden railway videos are Brio products. And Brio, I was shocked to discover, did make a Santa Fe Super Chief. I did a video on that a few months ago, if you want to go back and look. And it's just called a Brio Santa Fe. It's a product they put out in the 90s. And it's painted very much like a Super Chief. But this is made by a company called, where'd it go? Here, it is here somewhere, Maxim Enterprises, Inc. And I looked them up. They make a variety of toys. And I suspect it's just a company you can contract with if you want to get something special made. And it certainly seems like the Oregon Rail Heritage Foundation, that's the people that currently take care of 4449. They partnered with them. And this I bought this from the 4449 website. And there's a number of interesting things there you can purchase. I'll get into that more in another video, but this is one I just had to have. And the profits go to raise money to maintain the locomotive and stuff like that. So, I would have bought it regardless, but, I'm happy, money went to that. So let's unbox this thing and get it on the rails. As you might have had a glimpse, we've got this little temporary layout with the Brio track. There are some, G-scale things going on in the background. More on that in another video. We got a lot of G-scale reviews coming, and then on the TV you'll notice Mr. Pictovid is on, because when I'm working on setting up railroad track, I like to watch train videos, and then I get distracted and I don't set up track as fast as I should. So if you're wondering where my videos have been, it's really all Mr. Pictovid's fault. So you can talk to him about that. All right, let me get this thing open. All right, got it out of its container here. It comes in a little plastic tray, much like older Brio products. There's no instruction booklet or anything. Hopefully this is self-explanatory to most, I would think. All right, there it is in all its glory. So let's zoom around to the front. Obviously, we're not expecting a scale model here or perfection or anything. This is a child's toy and a representation, but you do have the Mars light and the regular headlight and the silver front end. And we got 4 big wheels. Yes, I know there should be more wheels, but they got the number of the big wheels correctly. Or I got that correctly. Then right there on the side, got the daylight logo. We got that famous orange stripe that runs the length of the locomotive. And we got, to a lesser extent, we got the red stripe. And some basic piping and smokestack. Cab has a window. And again, this is like my favorite steam engine, favorite locomotive period, I think. Does not come with a tender. That's one thing. If they ever do another run of these, that's one thing I might suggest whoever the decision maker is, get a tender for this thing, because the tender is just as iconic as the engine, this locomotive. So, but that's neither here nor there. It's the other side. Another daylight logo. Pretty much identical. Got the numbers. Yes, I know they're not up here, but you know, again, kid's toy. So be nice. There's our magic magnetic coupler. There are no passenger cars for this available to my knowledge. Nothing I could find. So on your wooden railway set, you're going to have to substitute something else, or maybe your 4449, maybe your GS-4 pulls freight. They did pull freight. Coming very soon, I will have a N-scale and HO videos on the freight version of the GS-4s. That's what a daylight is. It's a GS-4. That's the class of locomotive it was, or is. It's the only one in existence, I believe. There's a parked GS class, I believe, in St. Louis, but I think that's a GS6. Looks very, very similar, though. I don't offhand know what the differences are. And this thing does roll very nice. Certainly, I'm not seeing a bunch of wheel wobble or anything. I mean, not more than... Honestly, I feel like the wheels are a little more lined up than a lot of the modern Brio stuff. That's been one of my complaints with modern Brio. My 80s stuff is like spot on, but this is... There's not a lot of wobble going on here. I feel like this is... Kitty cat's in the way, but that's... it wants to roll real nice. Or rides real nice. That's nice. Little surprising and unexpected, but I wasn't real sure when it's like just a third party making something. I wasn't real sure what to expect here, but I'm kind of pleased and surprised, to tell you guys the truth. Gosh, even in little wooden toy form, it is pretty. But yeah, I'm very happy it rolls along okay. It takes the curves okay. These aren't the smallest curves I have, but much like the real thing, let's talk about that for a second. Not the pilot wheels and stuff, I'm sure are articulated, but the big 4 wheels on 4449 are not. are not a trick. Trick. I always say that wrong. Articulated. Yeah. Hey. But if you know locomotives, you know what I mean. I got it right in my Speedy Bullet Train video, but I'm getting it wrong here because it's late and I'm tired. But regardless, this is why I can navigate the curves okay. It's just designed to do so, which is nice. And made in China, but that is most things these days, as I'm sure you are aware. And that's including Brio, which when it was made in Sweden, like my Brio from the 80s, the quality honestly was much better. It's too bad it's made in China now. That's, I'm sure, a cost-saving measure. But so I'm not going to hold that against anyone here on this 4140 or 4449 model because, yeah, all these little toy trains are made in China now, and most of our, maybe not our LGB stuff, but a lot of our USA trains and whatnot. Yeah, it's all made in China. So it is what it is. This guy isn't going to let me do a video. Dick, come on, buddy. Hey, can you scoot over, please? Thank you. Yeah, all right. Appreciate that. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get a consist for our 4449 here, and we'll run it around the loop a few times. Okay, I attached some cars. We got a very unusual train, but it's late and it's my train set, so I'm gonna, if I want an unusual train, I'll have an unusual train. Dick, oh no, it's not even Dick that's meowing, it is Angel, so sorry about that, guys. All right, so, chugga. So we got, there's our beautiful locomotive, of course. Then I borrowed a passenger car from the Santa Fe Super Chief. We got a series of flat cars, just cuz. And then I have noticed a trend here on YouTube, and for whatever reason, whenever I put the caboose in a video, the video seems to do better. I don't know if people like that caboose or what. Kitty cat, hi, you came to visit too? Okay. You're not usually in the videos. Usually it's the other kitty cat. Okay. I guess she came because she likes this too. But yeah, whenever I put the caboose in a video, the video seems to do better. I don't know why. Maybe it's just coincidence, probably. But I'm a superstitious guy, so. All right. Come on, kitty cat. Ah. Kitty. Move. You know, it's really tricky to film when you also have to push the train. Just saying. It's probably going to derail here. Oh, no, it's because I'm on this carpet. It's not the most even thing when it comes down from this. See, the track's uneven there. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, this can, it's got a good magnet. It can pull a bunch of cars. Magnet coupler. Wouldn't that be something if real trains had magnet couplers? Not sure how that would work, but look at all those wheels. Looks like a centipede. So there it is, 4449 Southern Pacific Daylight for your wooden railway. I will put a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link or anything, but it's to the 4949 webpage. So if you want to learn a little bit more about it, this is a steam engine that I would love to see in person, and I never have. In the 44 years of my life, I didn't really realize it till I stopped to think about it, but I've seen some cool steam engines. I've seen the big boy 4014 many years ago when I was a little kid. Somewhere in my parents' things, there's probably a picture of me in front of it, maybe with my brother. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, so like 84, 85. and I'm standing in front of the big boy. And at the time, I grew up in Southern California, and at the time, Big Boy wasn't running. It was just parked at the Pomona Fairgrounds, and I grew up in Southern California, so that's why there's a picture of me with it. I'm not sure what we went there for. I've long since forgotten. I mean, it's been like 40 years, but yeah. So I've seen Santa Fe 3751 in action. I've seen some cool stuff. I feel like I've been fortunate to see some things running. And you don't really appreciate that till you really stop and think about it. And I'm much more focused on trains now than I have since probably the most since I played with these guys. So, when you stop and think about things over the years, it's like, oh, I have seen a lot of cool trains, but I've never seen the daylight. It goes out once in a while, not very often anymore. It does run. I've only seen it in movies and other people's YouTube videos and pictures and stuff, unfortunately, but it's kind of on my bucket list. But since I now live in Ohio instead of on the West Coast, I'm not sure. I've only been, even when I lived in California, I'd only really been to Oregon once. So one of these days I will find an excuse to go and have to, gosh darn it, I'll have to go on that business trip for business reasons. And, I'll just happen to swing by the museum and take a look at this guy. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, there it is. Hope you guys are excited that something like this exists. I know I am. So, and I wish there were more things like this available for wooden railways. If there was a big boy on the Union Pacific store website, or if Santa Fe or BNSF put some old stuff on there, I mean, I'd happily buy it. I mean, I wish, or just one of the manufacturers, Melissa and Doug, or Brio, or Fisher Price makes all the Thomas stuff, but if they made stuff that was more like the real stuff, I think a lot of kids would like that. I would have loved this as a little kid. The Little Whittle Shortline Railroad, and there's one other guy. They do make like modern EMDs and GEs and stuff like that. I did a video on one of those. Little Whittle Shortline Railroad has a GP38-2 and stuff. So I mean, but those are very specialty. If just one of the main children's toy manufacturers made stuff like this, made a Daylight, made a Big Boy, made a Challenger, made a Northern, all that stuff. That would be cool, I think. And I think a lot of kids, and even modern freight, I think a lot of kids would like to have that. So, all right, be sure to like and subscribe. I will stop asking when I get to 1,000 subscribers, at least for a while, I promise. And be sure to check out my other wooden railway videos and rail fanning videos, and HO and N scale, and of course G scale. Got a lot of G scale coming pretty soon. Take care, guys.